Thanks for tuning in to the Real Women Chronicles podcast. I am your international certified life coach, Tiadra Taylor. The sole purpose of this podcast is to get you from where you are now to where you want to be. Yes, it's time to break chains and to get unstuck. Thanks again for joining in. Let's begin. Hello, and thank you guys for joining in to yet again another episode of the Real Women Chronicles podcast. I am your host, certified life and relationship coach. I go by the name of Coach T. Listen, guys, typically, I know last year, I would take a break leading up to the new year. This is our very last podcast of the year. And normally around Christmas, I take a break from posting podcasts, from posting podcast episodes. But this particular year is so special to me because I'm just grateful that I'm even able to post a podcast after being in the ICU last month. I'm grateful to be able to talk this long and to be able to, breathe again the way that I was breathing. Well, maybe not exactly the way I was breathing before, but breathing so much better. So I'm just so thankful that I refused to take a break for the holiday. I just wanted to give you guys some motivation leading up into this new year, some things to think about, guys, as we're embarking in a new year. I know for me, a new year really does at times mean a new me. And I like having that mindset because there's always stuff that we can work on, each and every one of us. And I honestly, and if you listen to, let me back up. If you listen to my podcast last week, I talked about that. I talked about the things that you can work on. But on this last podcast, I just want us to go into the new year with a fresh mindset. It's the end of the year, y'all. It's the end of the year. To me, it's time to leave old stuff in the past. Just leave it in the past and move forward. So that is what I want to talk about as we close out the year. Okay. Listen, guys, I want to say this, okay? Because it needs to be said. If you are angry all the time, that's an issue. If you are sad and mad all the time, that is an issue. That is not healthy. If you're walking around with a frown on your face all the time or the majority of the time, that needs to be addressed. If you're out there matching everybody's energy, you're one of those people, you treat me some way, I'm going to match your energy. That's a problem. Where did we learn that from? That it's proper to match somebody's energy. I don't know about you, but I don't want to match nobody's negative energy if I'm trying to have a positive mindset. I'm not trying to match nobody's negative attitude and inconsistency if that's not who I truly am. You matching other people's energy is you morphing into who they are instead of being who God called you to be. We're not matching no energy in the new year. Okay, we're done with that. We're done with that immaturity. We're not matching no more energy. If they are not treating you the way that you deserve to be treated, no need to match energy. You go somewhere that makes you happy. But being angry all the time, matching other people's negative energy, being mad all the time and sad all the time is not the way to go. Sometimes we become the author of our own misery. Sometimes we're putting ourselves in situations that bring about negativity and anger. Sometimes we're putting ourselves around people that bring nothing but negative energy. I challenge you guys going into 2022 to address those issues. No more being angry all the time. No more being sad all the time. Let go of that bitterness. Let go of the spirit of jealousy. Let go of the spirit of low self-esteem. Ladies, especially. I'm not saying men don't deal with this because absolutely you do. But let me speak to the ladies for a moment and say, ladies, especially. That spirit of low self-esteem has held us long enough. It's been a part of you long enough. God made every intricate detail of you from head to toe. And the most attractive thing in a woman has nothing to do with her body or her face or all this external things. It has everything to do with how she feels about herself, what she believes about herself. That's what's attractive. And if you hear real men talking, you will hear them often be attracted to confident women. It's time to let go of that spirit of low self-esteem. Those are belief systems that vibrate at a low level. And I've told you guys this before in previous podcasts. When you're vibrating at a low level, you attract those things of a low level. And you're sitting here probably wondering, why do I keep attracting toxic men? Why do I keep attracting toxic women? Because you're down there where they're at. You're down there where they're at. And yeah, you may be a nice person, but the energies and the spirits of low self-esteem, the spirit of bitterness, the spirit of all of these negative things are holding you and weighing you down and pushing you on that level. So you can't grasp anything up top because everything you are is down bottom. We're going to leave all that in 2021. We're going to leave it there. And let me say this also. This is not the time to be allowing people to dictate your happiness. It's time to put a close to that. Because if you know like I know, okay, and you had to learn the hard way like I did, whenever you are allowing other people to control your happiness goes up and down on a roller coaster because it's tied to someone else. And when they're not in the mood to make you feel good about yourself and to validate you, you're no longer happy because you rely on these things to make you happy. This is not the time in the day and age that we're living in with all the chaos we got going around with COVID. Lord knows I know about COVID. I faced it in the worst way. Okay, with all the stuff that we got going on, this is not the time to allow someone to dictate your happiness. This is not the time to keep putting your happiness off to a later date. Oh, you'll be happy when you get a man. Oh, you'll be happy when you get a wife. Oh, you'll be happy when you get that money and all of this stuff. This is not the time. One thing I learned more than anything recently is that tomorrow's not promised. So if I don't choose to be happy in today, to be peaceful in today may be all I got. So stop putting it off. I talked about this in a lot of other podcasts, and I'm going to keep talking about it. No more putting off happiness. No more allowing people to dictate your happiness. We're going into this new year, and we are going in with a new mindset. We are going in with a newfound identity. And whoever can't get with it must get lost. Listen, y'all, life is too short to be in a miserable relationship, especially when there are better ones out there. And I'm gonna tell each and every one of you guys right now, if you're in a miserable relationship, there's a better one out there. Yeah, for you too. I'm not sure if somebody's convinced you that that's the best that you can get. But if you're sad all the time, if this person is making you feel like you have to walk on eggshells, if this individual is not appreciating your worth and what you bring to the table, take the whole table and move. This is not the time. We are living in some different times right now, and we really have to appreciate everything that we have, but we also have to appreciate ourselves enough to let go of people who don't appreciate what we have. Always remember, no matter how fine you are, a cheater is going to be a cheater. A cheater is still a cheater. This is the thing. We, especially as women, we live in this day and age where image is so important. You know, we're going to get BLs, we're putting on the longest lashes, the makeup, and all of that good stuff to try to look good, only to realize that if you sign up for a cheating, disrespectful man, he's still going to be cheating and disrespectful, no matter what you look like. So this is what I want to just reiterate going into this new year. That if you're signed up for a bad man, it doesn't matter how many tricks you turn. It doesn't matter what you do. You're still going to have a bad man. Because it's nothing in you that needs to change for another person to change. That's their choice. They have to own it. And what you have to own is your own happiness. And for those of you out there that are single and been single for a while, I'm going to encourage you on this. And like I said, guys, these podcasts, I don't talk long. But as we close out the year, for all of my singles out there, I encourage you to love and fall in love. And the reason why I said that two different ways is because loving someone and falling in love are separate. And I encourage you, okay, to do the necessary healing within you so that you can fall in love again. Everybody that's single out there, if you are still holding on to the last person, the memories of the last person who cheated on you, I encourage you to do what you need to do the self-work so you can let that go. Because that could be blocking you from really connecting with someone that's true and falling in love. For all of the singles out there who are praying for that mate, don't give up. Let me tell you one thing I don't do. I don't go into this narrative that everybody has that, oh, it's 20 men to one woman. I don't believe these ideologies. Not to say that maybe they aren't true in certain areas, but if you really believe that it's so hard for you to find a good man, guess what? You're going to manifest that reality. You're going to manifest that. When people start talking to me about stuff like that, all men are cheaters and it's so hard to find a good man, I let it go in one ear and out the other because I refuse to allow that to be my reality. And if you guys have not learned anything from me this year, I hope that you learned that life and death is in the power of the tongue, like the Bible says. I hope you heard me constantly say that. And I pray that you've constantly really heard me say how you manifest things through speech. Let go of that negative talk that you won't find that person for you. You won't find that person that you can grow old with. Or that person that accepts you for who you are with all your flaws. Don't give up. But one thing I want to encourage each and every one of you that are looking for love is to let go and believe again. Believe that love exists. Believe that there are good people out there. No, they're not perfect, but there's good people out there. Believe it because it takes you believing it before you can actually see it. But don't forget to do the self-work, right? We're going into a new year. It's time to learn how to break down those walls that you built around yourself and stop expecting somebody else to do that for you. Stop expecting that. And I always tell my clients, like, if you feel as though you can't trust people and you go into this new year feeling like people aren't to be trusted, or even yet people need to earn your trust. Just know that when you have that mindset, 9 times out of 10, you're going to go into a relationship with a more insecure approach, and you're going to force that person to believe that somehow they have to prove to you that they need to be trusted. Who wants to sign up for a relationship like that? I can tell you this. If you go into a relationship and you feel as though that person off the break, not even knowing you, does not trust you, that's a red flag. So all of you ones out there that have trust issues, I challenge you to work on that as well. Because it's nobody's job to make you trust them. That's an inner thing. That's inner work. Lastly, I encourage you guys as we go into the new year to stop placing more faith in the devil than you do in God. Everybody's terrified right now. Everybody's walking around afraid. Everybody's putting more power in the hands of the evil things of the world, of the negative things of the world, and they're forgetting the person up that can protect us from it all. In the midst of these storms, in the midst of the Omicron virus, in the midst of COVID, don't forget